Welcome to our weekly Friday talk and tour series when we share the opportunity to visit the studios of our wonderful artists and hear about their works and inspiration. These visits are brought to you by the Duncan McClellan Gallery and the DMG School Project of St. Petersburg, Florida. Thank you for joining us.
Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well today. We have a great episode. This particular week, we're really excited to have Aya Oki back again to our hot shop. DMG has sponsored a 2-week residency for her to do a particular group of projects while she was here. And incredible amount of work got done in the last few days. And we're really excited to see it. And you're going to be able to see it too, because our team has finally come up with these great videos, the capabilities that you'll see that will even be showing shots inside the glory hole as Aya is working. It's really fascinating to see, and the technology is only in a couple of places in the world. So I'm really proud of my team on what a great job they've done with that. And we're looking forward to having more of the Aya pieces coming out onto our shelves and onto our pedestals, because they are absolutely gorgeous. So if you get an opportunity, not only will you see them today on the Zoom, but come by to the gallery. We'd love to see you, and you get to see the work. We also have a master class coming up with Deanna Clayton. Deanna is an artist that has been here many times. Her classes always fill up, and they're designed for people that have never worked in glass before. But in a 2-day period on April 2nd and 3rd, you'll walk out making 1 or 2 of these gorgeous pâte de verre bowls. And they're a lot of fun, and people want to take more and more of these classes. So it was really generous of Deanna to offer to do yet another one for us. So happy Friday, everybody. I'm really glad that you're seeing us today, and glad to see Mary and the whole team. So Mary, take it away.
Thanks, Duncan. We are so honored to have Aya here again in her second residency. She impressed us so much during her first residency and said she had this opening several years later. And Duncan and Lauren jumped on it and said, please do come. And she's been working really, really hard in the hot shop. And we'll see some pictures of her working with the team and then a little video. Her work always improves by leaps and bounds every time that she's here. So we're so pleased to have you here, Aya. Do you want to say a little bit before we start?
Yes.
Aya?
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. This is my second time residency here, and I really appreciate that DMG and all the sponsors and the communities have me. And I because I was just staying home, and this is all of a sudden my life opened up again, and then make a piece in the hot shop with the team. And it's really, really, I really so appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm going to share a screen and we're going to pull up some images that Aya can talk about and explain to you. So bear with me for a moment. So Aya Oki is here under the auspices of the DMG School Project and the Duncan McClellan Gallery. And we're going to start with Aya describing this notebook that she carries around with her all the time, and it's the most impressive thing many of us have seen. So Aya, do you want to explain this for us?
Sure. So I usually make this plan when I have a residency because I always need a preparation for my piece when I make my sculpture. So because it has a lot of process and I need a lot of parts to make a sculpture. So first day was on Monday. We had orientation, and the next day, I make I made a cane which is going to be pattern for the sculpture, and I was just making cane, which is looks like long chopsticks. It's just long sticks, making all day long. And then next day, um, I cut them in like this size, and then um, roll them up on the blowpipe to make a cup, which is like this. So I made the pattern like this. So this image is actually the same cane that I made for this cup, which I'm going to pick up and make a sculpture next day.
Can everyone see Aya and her cup? Did everyone see that?
Yeah, but we have difficulty hearing her.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Okay, I'll talk louder.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so from this picture, you can see all the cane like looks like a chopstick or the sticks I ordered. And so they are the two sets that I was going to roll up on the pipe and then made a cane pattern, which is crisscross pattern on my sculpture. So this is after I made a crisscross pattern. This is actually the picture that I made. Before it became a crisscross pattern, which is
Okay.
just one twist.
Okay.
And this, yeah. And after this image, I made a crisscross pattern.
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
this is the one.
Okay. So it started here, then went here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then go to here.
And then, so this picture is after I pick up this cup on the blowpipe, and then I started making each bubbles on it. And so this is at the DMG. I think this is the first day of my hot shop time. Um, so I already picked up this cup on the blowpipe and then started making the bubbles. How I make bubble is that I have oxygen torch on my hand, if you can see, and then that torch is really, really hot. And I heat the one spot where I want to make bubble. And I heat very, very hot, and then put the additional very hot fresh glass on it. And then before the glass becomes cold, I blow by myself. So you can see I have tube in my mouth, and so that I can blow by myself. I don't need assistant to blow for me, but also I can have more control moving the blowpipe, like angle down. So it's really great tool to have and to make bubbles. And this is Lauren bringing me all the bits for me. So we call that hot glass bit. I need that again and again after I heat the spot on the with the torch. So this is the image right after I heat the spot, and then I put this fresh hot glass on it. And then after that, I'm going to cut it. This is just, I'm putting, I put the jasper and then cut the bit. And then after I cut the bit, I have to torch the cut mark, just like that. And then as I heat the cut mark, I also blow up. So now I'm actually blowing, and then the bubble is expanding with all the patterns.
So Aya, when you blow in, all the bubbles that you've just added also will expand?
Sorry, Mary, can you say it again?
Sure. Will the bubbles that you've added also expand, or just the main body of the piece?
The main body is staying, like it's like a core.
Okay.
So all the patterns, and then the main body is cold, and it's not. I keep it cold enough to not expand. But after I heat the spot and then put the fresh bit on it, then only that part you can see in this picture, it's orange, glowing orange. So that only that part is expanding as I blow through the blowholes. And then this is the image that I think after I started making bubbles, and I think it's been like maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
It takes really long time. It's very calm, like it's very, the process is very calm, and then same process again and again. But it's actually, it's very hard, and I have to be right in front of the piece and to heat and then cut the bits and then blow. So it's actually that long time. It's kind of hit me up, but actually I realized that after I finish making a piece, because during I'm making it, I'm really focusing, and I don't really think about the time. So after making it and check the clock, and then it's like it always after like 6 hours or 7 hours, sometimes 8 hours. Yesterday was 8 hours.
Wow.
And this is actually, you can see on the left side of bubble is still a little bit orange. So it's still hot, and I'm blowing the bubble. And this piece is actually the piece behind me, this one. And this was pretty big piece. It's like 13 by 14 inches. And also it's pretty thick. So it's very heavy to hold, to carry. So usually I heat the spot when I make a bubble. I heat 2 or 3 times before I put the fresh bit.
Wow.
So this is the time I'm still heating the spot. And then Lauren, my assistant, she was helping me. She's the one bringing me the fresh glass. She actually have to gather when I start heating first heat. So it really requires a lot of timing, which is which is difficult with a new team. But it was actually really smooth. We had this good timing and then rhythm um, pretty fast. This one is from yesterday. I had one more additional assistant, and it's because I know it's going to be big. So I had 5 assistants, and you can see one of the assistants is shielding me with a wooden paddle, and then one of the assistants is torching the piece to make sure the piece is not gonna get cold. And then the another assistant is opening the door of the glory hole, and then one assistant is turning the pipe for me, and everything. It's because of them I can make my work. Without them I cannot finish making this work. So we're always happy, like during the bracelet. We just always smile, and it's very fun. And after making a piece, we are so happy that after 7 or 8 hours working. This piece is also the same piece that's behind me. It's almost done. I always tell assistant, maybe 4 or 5 more bits, more bubbles. Only 4 or 5, and then sometimes it's more like 7, or ended up sending 7 or 8 bits. But everybody is very patient. Uh, Everybody is so nice that, Aya, whatever you want, and we will just help you. It's really, really nice. And then this is I think it was a finish. I already put all the bubble. I fill the piece with bubbles. So I'm heating, make sure that the whole glass sculpture is even temperature before I break it off and put in the annealer. So glass is very fragile. You don't want cold part and the hot part at the same time. Always make sure that the glass has even temperature, and then box it.
Aya, the pieces that you are making during this residency seem to be full of color. The next slides that we have are more muted, subtle colors. Can you talk about why during this time you decided to be so colorful? Is there a reason, or is it something you had in your head that you just wanted to try?
Yes, I really wanted to make a color one because this idea was actually I had uh, at the DMG when I was here in 2018. Because back then I was making um, I was using a color cane, but it was not with full of colors. And I came up with this idea that um, um, I was using the cane only white or only black or just one single color. But towards the end, I thought, well, maybe I can use more colors, which I covered the white with transparent color. So, um, but also it's because this technique, it's called raticello in Italian. Um, it's crisscross pattern like this. And then all the colors are kind of merged together and then expand, which is, I thought it's only this technique can make these colors. It's not like I put the color like here and then there. It's like it has meaning. It has to be, this color has to be here, and then this color mixed color. It's because of Botticello I can create. So there's meaning, always a meaning um, of the color and of the technique of the process, which is really important to me. And um, but I couldn't make this piece at the DMG because that was the idea that I got towards the end of the residency in 2018. So, and then I went back to California and then I made a test piece and I really liked it. So I was like, oh, this is it. I really want to pursue this and I want to keep going. And then I had this opportunity again to come back to DMG. And of course, I want to make that because this is the idea I got here. So this time I use a lot of colors, and but also I changed a little bit of pattern of the color um, to make this cup. I usually have this is actually the way I used to make, and I used to order the color. So this is um, purple. This is also a little bit lighter purple, a little blue, and then darker blue. And but for the last piece I made yesterday, I actually wanted to play with color a little bit. So I changed the order of the color. I alternate the colors with similar colors. So I was making that cup that was on Wednesday. And then I was like, I haven't grow up all the patterns yet, but I had this curiosity that I want to use this cup and then create the sculpture. So I I made it yesterday, which is still in the annealer. So I can't really see the result yet, but I took some of the pictures, which was already in that presentation.
Mhm.
So I can't wait to see that open. I can't wait to open the needler.
Well, let's take a look at some of the more subtle pieces that you have made. This is a very different look, although we're also seeing the technical uh, techniques that you've used in this body of work that you've created over the last 2 weeks.
Yes, these pieces are different. I feel like this piece are more focusing on um, like a optic image. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a pattern. I have a pattern and I have a fewer bubbles than these pieces. So my focus is more like on the bubble. And also I have this negative space that core base part.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the core base uh, part of pattern, but also the pattern that's expanded.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, I feel for this piece, I feel more mm, optic aspect. Um,
They're very sculptural, the positive and negative space, as you say, really has a lot, is really talking about sculpture in a different way than the pieces that you created the past few weeks. much more play between the positive and negative space.
Yeah, with more negative space. Yeah, that kind of changed my focus. If you have fewer bubbles or more bubbles and filled up with the bubbles, and then I can't really see the core patterns or not, then I think that your focus is also changing too. And I also sandblasted for this series. Sandblasting is that there's this machine called the sandblaster that you can you can actually frost the glass. So these pieces are all frosted. I did that. It's because before I did sandblast, it looks more shiny. Of course, it's glass, but once I sandblasted, I see my focus is more patterns and form. It's because I don't have much reflections that I don't need. And then after sandblasted, the lights is kind of hold into the glass, and that's not the too much lights. It's just right lights. So that's much better with a frosted glass to see this sculpture. So this piece is I made a second day of my residency. This is a little smaller piece. I have it here. This piece. So I use a little different colors for this piece. It's a smaller scale, but it took, I think, 6 hours.
Wow.
That actually reminds me of the cup. When I make this cup, it took me a really long time than usual. It took like 3 hours because of these colors. Colors has own softness, so you see different colors. The blue was really soft, but this purple is not as soft as this blue. So when I was creating the cup, when I blow, only blue was moving and trying to expand, but not the purple. So I couldn't make even thickness and smooth shape. So trying to control the heat all the time to make it evenly and then smoothly. So it's very big difference that if you use the colors or not, and that takes your time more.
Someone had a question that leads me to this. They were wondering if do you compose these sculptures while you're on the pipe, or do you have a preconceived idea of where you're going with it?
I don't have actual design. It's like I have a plan in my mind. I am going to make these bubbles, but I don't have any plan for where I'm going to put the bubbles.
Well, for an example, like you just explained, the purple doesn't move as freely as the blue, because certain colors are softer than others. And so as you're making this, you're going, oh, okay, well, it's stiffer. I kind of like that. And I'm going to utilize that. So I can see that you have an idea of how you're going, but kind of the glass kind of tells you which way to go.
That's true. Yes, that's exactly what's happening to me. Glass. I like this way to say that the glass tells me or glass responds to me when I talk to glass. So
That's
it's
a good way to put it.
thank you. I like it's just like having a conversation with my best friend. Like I talk to glass and then I listen to glass and then glass also responds to me for whatever I do to glass. And so it's a very fun time.
Wow.
Aya, somebody else is asking if you've ever left an opening and then put a light bulb inside. Have you thought about doing that?
Oh, I have like a response from my audience that yeah, what if I make a hole and then make a lighting? Um, but I've never done that before. It's because my work is more like interaction with me and the material of glass. So I want to create something that that comes from myself, and this is a result that of our conversation. So I always want to make a sculpture um, that I use a technique of glass blowing. That's my specialty, and then that is the technique that I always have my passion from. So I've never thought about making a hole, and it's because this technique, glass blowing, is inflating. It's expanding, inflating, and I feel like once I have a hole, I kind of lose the sense of glass blowing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's always kind of closed piece. For now, this is my opinion, and but who knows? Maybe change my mind in the future. My idea gets kind of going to a different way, but for now, my piece is all closed and then showing all this toughness. That's my um, that's my passion.
Wonderful.
This is happened yesterday. It was after making the big piece and then the longest day. We were very happy.
I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a moment, and if anyone has questions or comments, this is a good time. I see we have a lot of comments in the chat. Let's see what fireworks. Let's see. Makes me think of a surgeon with a team of assistants. See. We have someone, Oki-san, Subarashi.
Oh,
Can you read that?
okay, ありがとうございます。That oh sorry. I will check the chat.
To Omo, you better read it. To Omo Shiroi.
That means in Japanese, 素晴らしい is like wonderful. So Oki-san is my last name is Oki. San is something that when you call someone older or you respect, you showing your respect, and you put the san after your last name. So Oki-san, he is being very kind, polite.
Right.
Thank you.
Joni asks that, or says that she recalls Catherine Gray was a mentor from last Zoom. How has she impacted the work? Was she a mentor? Yeah.
Yeah, Kathleen Gray is my mentor, and I always respect her. I usually work for her at the studio for her private piece, and she's just not only as an artist, but as a human being. I really respect her attitude as an artist and a human being, and I really want to be her assistant forever, because I always get the very positive not the response but positive energy from her.
Wonderful. Duncan, you're muted. I hear you say.
When are you going to be on Blown Away, Oki?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on that TV.
But I agree with you with Catherine Gray. She's a amazing artist, amazing teacher.
She is. I feel so lucky that I can work with her.
We have a wonderful video of you working, which if you can bear with me, I'll share the screen again and everyone can get to enjoy this. It's really great. So hold on.
Jack? I got this. You want to grab the Jack for me? Yep. All right, water, Aya. Jack, Jeremiah. Yeah, it's moving. I got it. Come on, stop. Ready? Stop. Flip. Wait. Yep. Flip. One more flip. That's good. Go the other way, Jeremiah. The Jack. Yep. Okay, ready? Everyone up. Grab it. Up. Hit it.
That was incredible.
Amazing.
Great job. Amazing team. I'm verklempt because that was really wonderful. I loved how you all worked together. And oh, by the way, Russ, that video that we were able to film inside the Glory Hall, you notice Danielle, you haven't seen her. She's actually, I'm just kidding. She's not inside the Glory Hall. We have that new camera that's a very highly specialized camera and lens that our gaffer, Dan Alexander, put together along with Lauren and Danielle to be able to film inside the Glory Hall as these incredible artists are showing how they're using part of the Glory Hall, the cooler areas and the hotter areas, to be able to produce their work. So not only will this be very sexy to see inside the Glory Hall, it will make our tutorials for other artists to see how things are being done, to see the full picture. It's not all done at the bench. There's a lot of nuance that happens inside the Glory Hall that allows an artist to be able to do the sculpting that they do. So thanks for asking that, Russ. I'll be quiet.
That was just really, really amazing. And to get to see the whole process and then that culmination of the whole team, it was so impressive. So thanks, Lauren. I know you're in the sidelines, but you were there the whole time. So thanks to Lauren and Dan and Danielle for putting that amazing video together. And Aya, without whom none of this would have happened this week, the last 2 weeks. So thank you.
Thank you.
It was one of the funnest pieces I've ever been part of. It was magical in here yesterday, and we knew it, and we could feel it before we even started. I told Duncan, I said it's going to be a magical day.
Wonderful.
And it was a lot of fun. Ended up being I checked the clock. It was actually 9 hours. You say 8, but I correct you, my dear friend.
That was 9 hours. Okay, you got it.
And we're gonna count the bubbles. I think there's at least probably 40 or 50 bubbles that are all 2 or 3 together. When you think they're all 2 and 3 gathers and you're adding 40 or 50 of them, that weight for the gaffers is insane.
A combination of the time and the weight is, it takes great skill. So, and a great skill of team working together to make that happen.
And then, Danielle doesn't get any credit because she's not seen, as Duncan said. And she's the one that's like, took the video yesterday, stayed late with us to finish the video, came in this morning, edited the video to have it ready for you for this. And so, she's learned an incredible amount of skill on being an audio videographer.
Well, I tell you, I'm very impressed with all the team in producing these, and I think it gives great information out there. So we're very appreciative. I'm very appreciative for all that you all do, and I'm very appreciative of all of you joining us each week. It's a great honor to be able to do this, And I got to tell you, it's a great honor to be hosting these artists because they mean a lot to us, and it really does help further their careers, keeps them going. And we thank you for being a part of it.
Thanks. I have one question for Aya before we sign off. Are the bubbles, do the bubbles have air in them, or are they solid?
They have air.
In
Yes,
them.
all the bubbles have air. So it's like one piece in the end. It's not like I was not making bubbles first, like each one bubbled first and then assembled together. It's not that way, but I create the bubbles from this core base bubble, and then bubble is coming from that. It's like expanding. So it's one whole piece, one blown piece. So there's no solid bubbles.
Wow.
And when does that piece come out of the annealing oven, your newest one?
Tomorrow.
How large was that piece? It looked very large.
Oh, it was. I can't really imagine, but it's bigger than this. I'm gonna actually stand next to it. It's like this big.
Wow.
But yesterday it was bigger than that. It was like this.
And maybe what? It might be close to 50 pounds.
Yeah, close to. Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would anyone like to unmute and ask Aya a question? I think they're just flabbergasted. So, well, we're sorry that you will be leaving in a few days, but look forward to the time that you can come back, Aya. You're always a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing time always. In 2018, I was here. I had a blast that with all the community and DMG and all the staff and all the audience coming from everywhere. It was amazing, and it's the same. Even though it's during this hard time, I see people coming in and then asking me all the questions and about my piece, and then it's been so great that I can talk to the people like that. Back in California, we can't do that yet.
It's true. Joni says also thank you to the sponsors for the DMG School project, and definitely we should thank them as well. Yes.
Very much so. We couldn't do that without the help. It's very expensive to run a hot shop, and so we're very appreciative of our great people that support our residencies and DMG in general. So thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Next week, we have Glass Keeb and Backhouse and Brown from Denmark joining us, so virtually. So hope that you all can see us then. And again, Aya, such an honor and a pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aya.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you all. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.